Okay, so you know somebody who needs help, but you're not sure who to go to. Do you go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist? And what's the difference? Hi, I'm Eric, and welcome to My Mental Health World. I've been in the mental health business for 30 years, and now I'm to teach you what I know. So that's what we're going to talk about today, what the difference is between a psychiatrist and a psychologist. Knowing that difference is important so you can get the right kind of help. So basically it works like this. Psychiatrists are medical doctors. They've been to medical school and can prescribe medications, antidepressants, antipsychotics. They specialize in medication management. They do other things too, and we'll get into that in a little bit. A psychologist, on the other hand, is not a medical doctor and as such cannot prescribe medications, and that's an important distinction. So a psychiatrist is a medical doctor and they can prescribe medications, while a psychologist is not a medical doctor and cannot prescribe medications. Please keep that in mind. A psychologist might have a PsyD or a PhD and will specialize in providing psychotherapy, counseling. Now, psychologists can also do testing, which can help better identify a diagnosis or determine level of functioning. Because psychiatrists have gone to medical school, they've taken classes in things like anatomy and physiology and organic chemistry as part of their education, as part of their training. They've worked in an emergency room somewhere, which means that they can theoretically fix your broken bone. Psychiatrists will look for medical causes for mental illness. Many mental illnesses have physical causes which can simulate the symptoms of mental illness. Because a psychiatrist is a medical doctor, they can order lab work or coordinate medical testing to look for some of these causes. Hormonal problems, infection, nutritional problems, cardiovascular problems, tumors, even exposure to environmental toxins are just some of the elements that can cause symptoms similar to that of mental illness. Psychologists concentrate on specific forms of therapy like behavior modification or cognitive behavioral therapy or dialectical behavioral therapy. They also focus on aspects of the mind, things like memory and learning and intelligence and experience and attention. And so with that in mind, I want to give you just one more way to think about the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist. And to do that, I want you to think about the difference between what the brain is and then what the mind is. These are two entirely different concepts, and we could actually spend all day philosophically talking about this. Where does the brain and the mind begin? But I want you to think about it like this. Psychiatrists focus on making changes to the brain itself, to specific brain physiology, things like neurotransmitters and neurochemistry and neural pathways and all the different parts in the brain. That's what psychiatrists focus on, whereas psychologists focus on making changes to the mind, things like coping skills and problem-solving skills and stress management skills, those sort of higher order consciousness related aspects that aren't typically associated with specific brain parts. So psychiatrists focus on making changes to brain parts, psychologists focus on making changes to the mind. Do you see the difference? So how do you find a psychologist or a psychiatrist to go to? Well, first of all, you want to check with your insurance company, and I can't say this enough. You want to make sure that a psychiatrist or a psychologist that you go to is included as part of your insurance company's provider network. You can also search the internet for a provider in your area, or you can call your local mental health office. They'd be glad to help. And if you're looking for a psychologist in particular, you can always access the locator service found on the American Psychological Association's website. That website is locator.apa.org. Again, that's locator.apa.org. Now here's one last question. Can your local doctor, general practitioner, prescribe the same medications that a psychiatrist can? Well, the answer is yes, but we want to dive a little deeper into this in an upcoming episode, so we'll get back to this one. Well, that's it for this episode. I hope this was helpful. If you have any comments or questions or even complaints, you can email me directly at ericmentalhealth@gmail.com. That's ericmentalhealth@gmail.com. Also, you can post your comments or questions in the comment section below, and please subscribe to this channel because we're going to be uploading a lot more videos and more information in upcoming weeks. Oh, just one more thing. The information provided in this video and all my videos is intended for educational purposes only. It's a resource. It's not intended to be a substitute or an alternative for licensed professional expert advice. If you or someone you know needs mental health help, please consult a licensed professional, an expert. And as always, if it's an emergency, call 911. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being part of my mental health world. We'll see you next time, and remember, we'll get through this together.